Greetings, brethren, Habsburger Donkey here, and as you can see, I made some wonderful progress, and I'm not talking about the undead, I'm talking about this lovely open workspace that I created for myself again. I did some cleaning to have some extra space, because it was absolutely a mess. Ever since I started working at my standing desk, I just kind of used my old working desk as a just a dump. So I needed to make some space, and now that also means I can do the videos here again, because the sitting is better. I can't sit all day, but I can certainly sit just to make a video. All right, I don't wanna take too much time up with pleasantries. Let me see. Can I turn this around? Yep, wonderful. I'm gonna do the light up a little bit better. It's all a bit work in progress still with the lighting and everything, but oh well, we'll get there. So what have I completed for Deadcember? Quite a bit, actually. The zombies that I painted for while I was also painting Leon's zombies, I haven't based them yet. I will base them in the next round with all the other miniatures that I still have to do. But I finished all of the skeletons. This right here being a skeleton champion. The rust effect is a little bit duller on these because they were varnished after I put on the rust effect, and the varnish kind of takes away a little bit of the effect. It still looks good. It looks a bit more sort of ancient rusted, I guess. But yeah, it does take away from it a little bit. And then we have another skeleton champion. There's a third one, which is this one. But I didn't finish painting him because in the course of painting this round of skeletons, I realized a few things, namely that skeleton archers in Oathmark are absolutely terrible. They may very well be the worst unit in the game, and I don't think I'm ever going to play very many of those, which also meant that from the 100 skeletons I was supposed to paint, I only painted 90, because I took out 10 archers, and I have another box of skeleton infantry, so together with that, I'll make another 2 sets of, well, probably 20 soldiers and 20 spearmen, and have 2 more full units, and yeah, have less archers, because with the Wargames Atlantic archers, I still have 30 now, and I don't actually think I'm ever going to play 30 archers, so oh well. Yeah, there's also one more drummer that I have. He will go in the 3rd soldiers regiment. All the soldiers regiments are going to have a drummer, and the spearmen regiments won't. That's just kind of because I will have 5 regiments, but I only have 3 drummers, so that's just because of that. All right, and now let's look at some of these skeletons. First up, we have the Wargames Atlantic skeletons that I turned into archers. And I do really like these models. I think they do look great when they're painted up, but they absolutely are not, like, they are not working with the Oathmark skeletons. Let me get one of the other ones. These would be the Oathmark skeletons made into archers, and yeah, the difference is quite significant. I mean, when you have both of them on the table, I'm sure it won't matter too much. But yeah, when you do hold them side by side, it is very obvious that they are completely and entirely not in the same scale. And the Wargames Atlantic ones are much thicker as well. The bones are really thick compared to the Oathmark ones. But oh well. So we have those. And then I have 2 units of 10 archers made up from the Oathmark skeleton kit. And now that I painted up a bunch of them, I love these skeletons. They may be some of the best skeletons that have come out since the 90s. I must say. Because personally, I'm not a massive fan of the new Games Workshop skeletons. I think they're a bit too... they have a bit too much stuff on them. They don't look basic skeleton types enough, you know what I mean? And yeah, and I think these really hit that home. And there's the other unit of 10. The officer each has a hand weapon, in this case a sword, and this guy has the Bronze Age axe. But other than that, the units are pretty much identical. I did do a thing where the cloth remnants on these skeletons, I painted them up in different colors to denote different units. So these skeletons, as you can see, they have blue cloth scraps, and these have red cloth scraps. Yeah, and they'll also have different colored banners, but not these, of course, because they're just the archers. So we have 30 archers, 10 of which are the Wargames Atlantic giants, and I don't know how much I'll be using them, because I think 20 is probably the most I'll be using in most games, just because the skeleton archers just aren't very good. They are less good than goblin archers in terms of their damage output, and they cost more than they cost as much as human ranges. So I don't really see it. I don't really see why I would use them. I mean, they are good in a sort of capacity where you have them shoot at other archer units, because, well, they're undead and they take less damage from ranged attacks. So, you know, they have a good defense against range attacks, but yeah, their own attacks are just pitiful. And here we have the Skeleton Spearmen. I only have one regiment of 20 of these now, but I will have another one. This is probably my least favorite way of building the Oathmark skeleton kit, because the spears only come in this upright position or in this stretched out position, and this stretched out position is kind of annoying. And the only downside to these skeletons is that they are very flimsy. I mean, you can see with just a little bit of force, you can really move all the parts of them. And yeah, they're not very sturdy. So I'm probably not going to use any of these sort of leaning spears on the second unit, because I'm really worried I'll snap the skeletons off. But yeah, as you can see, I did go with the both verdigris bronze and rusted iron look for the units. I mixed them up more or less 50-50 with a sort of a slight lean toward the bronze. Basically, I made it specific to the shields. So the ones that have all these nubs on them, I made all of them bronze, and the ones that only have, like, you know, the 4 nubs around the guard, they became the rusted ones. And yeah, and then these ones I sort of did a half and half thing, and I think it looks great. I think they came out really, really nice. And I did change my recipe for the verdigris slightly from my test model, and I'm much happier with this. Also, I didn't do any scratches. In hindsight, I actually liked them more without the scratches, so I didn't do that on the rest of the troops. And we have 20 spearmen, and then we have skeletons with hand weapons. Ta-da! We have one unit of 20 in blue, and as you can see, this unit has a drummer, and the hand weapon units will all have a drummer. Other than that, they are very, very similar. Although I didn't use a lot of the Bronze Age axes that they have on the sprue. I think each sprue comes with 3 swords and 2 axes, and I definitely used a lot of swords from the ones that I built into spearmen and the ones I built into archers to sort of make sure I didn't have to use too many of the axes, because not because I don't like them looks-wise, I just think they don't stick out as much as the swords. And I think the extra sort of rust, it just, yeah, I don't know, I just like it better. And I think these look excellent as well. I'm really happy with how they came out. The basing was a bit annoying, I must say. It's not the most complicated style of basing that I've ever done on a project, but doing it on 90 figures at the same time was very time consuming. So this just the bases alone took me, I think, all of Christmas and yesterday. So like the entire Christmas weekend basically I spent doing bases, and that wasn't super fun, but we got it done in the end, and I think they look lovely. And that's them. Let's pull the camera back a little bit because we have another unit of 20. Whoop, careful. Of 20 soldiers. So these are the ones in red. As you can see, again, the drummer. The drummer definitely has the most cloth of any of them, so you can see that he's actually, let me get closer again so we are under the light. It is the most cloth, but they all have a little bit of remnants here and there. And yeah, I'm super happy with them. They were so easy to paint. The actual skeletons themselves, that took almost no time at all. Yeah, I was very surprised how quickly I got through the skeletons, but obviously because I sort of cut the painting process of the skeletons in half by stopping and then starting the zombies, and then getting back to the skeletons, and then the basing taking as long as it did, it felt like I was painting on these skeletons forever. So by the end of it, I was really happy to finally be done. But yeah, that is the army so far. As you can see, it's just missing the zombies. As I said, the one unit that I painted alongside Leon's zombies, they are still in need of basing, but I'll do that at the end. And now I think I'll also reveal what else I'm working on. Namely, I am working on these wraiths. I have 2 of them, and they will be leading a unit of giant rats, and I will be playing that as the elf huntmaster and dogs, with the rats being the dogs and the wraith being the elf huntmaster. And I had this idea basically when I saw these rats. They are relatively new sculpts that Northstar added to their fantasy range, and I really like these rats. I think they're very nice and expressive. And I thought, wow, yeah, rats led by a Reaper ghost, that would be pretty cool as a substitute elf huntmaster and hunting pack. Yeah, and it fits pretty well with the background that I've come up with for my undead, which will be that the 2 necromancers, one of them being a lich, leading the army are the spider and the rat. So their sort of kingdom is very much rat and spider themed, and so having these lads led by this ghost, I think is really cool. And I'll have 2 units of them, each with 9 rats and 1 ghost, so a total of 20 figures. I was thinking about making them slightly bigger, but I decided against that because the army is already going to be rather large, so I didn't. Also, it was kind of expensive, so. Yeah, what else we got? Let me see if I can reach everything from here, so I don't have to get up. Yeah, okay, we got everything. Alright, so next we have just a random figure I picked up from Reaper, and it's this, I think it's a Wendigo in the Reaper range, and I think he looks excellent. He has a sort of a skull, rabbit head and long rabbit ears, but he also has these antlers, and he has these long limbs that are sort of not covered in skin, and I won't paint them as if they are, and then he has some fur, and he just looks excellent, and I'll be playing him as an Itchy. And so he'll be a supplement unit for the undead army, as an Itchy, I don't know exactly how you pronounce that, I'm just gonna call it an Itchy. And yeah, So that'll be a fun monster. And then I found I was looking actually at the Ralpartha website and seeing what they had because Scruffy Crow it was who got dwarf engineers from Ralpartha, and I really liked that the look of those figures. And I went looking, and I got some as well for my eventual dwarf army. But I looked through their fantasy range, and they actually had some really cool undead stuff, namely these skeleton ogres. And so I bought 3 of them. These 2. And these are the standard models. These are the 2 skeleton ogres that they have, one with an axe and one with a club. But I got 2 of this one with the club, and just slightly altered him. I cut the horns off his helmet to make him look a little bit different. And then I cut the club at the hand and sculpted sort of a longer club and put, yeah, sort of a nail and almost making it a pickaxe, but really crude and kind of ugly. But that's by design, I'm gonna say. Yeah, and they'll be my 3 skeleton ogres. I'll probably... My choice is to either play them as ogre linebreakers, but I don't think that works out too well rules-wise. I don't necessarily want to homebrew rules just specifically so I can play 1 unit. So I'll probably just play these as trolls. Trolls have regeneration, and they're also a bit more fighty than regular ogres, which are supposed to have shields. And I think that, yeah, that works more for undead. And they have shitty activation as well, and that's good too. So that's what I'll go with. And the goal is to get these painted till, painted and based till the 31st. So that by the new year I have at least that stuff done. I can already say that there are a few figures that I'm not going to be able to finish in Deadcember, which kind of sucks, but namely the 2 necromancers, which I want to spend some more time on. I want to make them look really good because they're the leaders of the army, and they're kind of what the whole army is sort of based around. And I kind of want to paint some free hands on the cloaks and stuff and just make them look really nice. So they'll be very early January editions. And then I also have, those 40 more skeletons that I'll have to paint. I still have to build them as well, but they'll be an early January thing. And then I have, actually, without destroying everything, I have a skeleton catapult from Reaper that still needs to be washed and then built and ready for painting. That will be early January as well. And then lastly, this Wraith, also from the Reaper line. And I really like this model. I was thinking about going with the Tomb Wraith, which is a bit bigger and has a more flying cloak, and he comes with a few gravestones as well. But I thought this one is more simple, and I thought that would be better because these undead models that I have are also a bit more simple in style. They're not so extravagant, so I didn't want the super extravagant Wraith, and I thought this one would work better. And I also want to take a little bit more time on him. And then I also have in here, because they've already been washed, so they've been drying in a towel, I have 3 more giant spiders, and I'll paint them up as well. And then my 2 units of giant spiders will also be sort of subbing into that undead army when I play it. And yeah, that'll already be a massive army. I mean, that's a lot of points right there, and it's not really gonna take that much more time in January to finish. What is it? 3 heroes, 40 more speed paint skeletons, which is fine, and the catapult, which I'll also probably speed paint. Hopefully just 2 weeks into January, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how fast that goes. But for now, this is what I have. I hope you like what I did with these skeletons. Just give you another sort of a sweeping look. And oh my goodness, we're up to 20 minutes for the video. So this is going to be it. Sorry for waffling on so long again. But I guess the less videos I make, the more I have to waffle. But the next video will come a lot sooner now because, well, I just have a few miniatures to do, and I want to finish them before the new year anyway. So, hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and well, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be in a few days. Alright, take care. Oh, and I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. And if I don't manage it by the new year, then Happy New Year as well. Alright, take care, guys. Bye-bye.